Hey everybody, this is Kat with Tootie Boots Media. I am back and I'm going to talk about some more tips on how to address bullying among nurses. So, if you listened to my last audio, the tip I gave in that one was to recognize that there is a problem. When you see bullying, don't brush it under the rug. Recognize that that's what's going on, because if you don't acknowledge it, you can't address it. So acknowledge that there's a problem so that you can go to the next step and address it. So my thoughts on what to do after you recognize that there's an issue is go to that person and address it with them. I'm the kind of person that will do that because when I get mad, it's like I want to go directly to the source. I'll show her or him. So that may not always be the solution, but in my mind, that's the next right step. So you've got to really be careful when you're addressing bullying, especially with the person who is bullying you, because they're going to be defensive and deny that it's going on. And then they're going to call you names and they're going to act like you're the problem, not them. And a lot of nurses that I've met are very narcissistic. So that is a trait among narcissists, to point that finger back at you that you're the problem, not them. So addressing it with the bullier, is that a word? Bullier? The one who's bullying you. Address it with them in a respectful manner, professional and respectful, and let them know that this is not acceptable. That all sounds good in theory, but that does not always work. I actually had to do that at one point and ended up being told I was lying and it was me. I'm the problem and what have you. So anyway, that was the tip I put in my last audio, if you listened to it. So the next tip I have is take a report of bullying seriously, because things happen when people are allowed to continue with their mistreatment of someone. So when a narcissist or somebody that's really got this ego that's so big, when they find someone to pick on, that is their person now. That is who they will make it their job to make your life miserable. So when you see someone being bullied, or if you're being bullied, take it seriously, because if you go to them and you address it with them and you say, this isn't acceptable and I'm not going to allow you to do this, I'm not going to be your victim, that doesn't always work. So take the report seriously, or the bullying seriously, or if you know someone that's being bullied, take the report of that bullying seriously and help that person out by going to the next person up on the chain of command. It may be the unit manager, depending on where you work and their management structure. Go to the next person up and report it. I would also put it in writing to make sure you have proof that you submitted it to someone, that you told someone. So whether it's an email wanting to address it, or typing up a letter and handing it to them and saying, these are some things I want to address and I wanted to put it in writing. So that way you have a paper trail or some kind of electronic trail, whichever way you do it, where you can prove that you did take it to a higher up. If it needs to, if it gets to the point where nothing is done, you can prove that you've talked to someone in a higher up position. So those are 2 tips. And then another one is recognizing that when you're overworked, your workload is so heavy, you have such a busy day as a nurse that you don't have time to take a break or eat or go to the bathroom. And a lot of times, being under that great of an amount of stress, that can weaken you and make you more susceptible to bullying and arguing and confrontation. So make sure that you take it easy, try to do some kind of stress reduction. If you need to talk to somebody, go talk to somebody to get it out, because when you leave it in and it festers and grows, it leads to either you lashing out at the person that's bullying you, or maybe you saying something disrespectful to somebody else. Another tip is to maybe, if there's a bystander and you're being bullied, make a note that that person was there, because they may be unwilling to do anything about it or say anything out of fear of being the next victim. So maybe go to them later and discuss it with them, or at least have, a record of somebody that was there that saw the whole thing. I had that happen as well. I didn't know somebody had seen me being bullied at my first job, but she came out of the woodwork later and came up to me and said she saw it all. She was in a laundry room closet or a supply closet of some sort, and was on her way out the door of that room and had seen this going on, and tucked back behind the door and listened and confronted me with it later and said if I needed anybody as a witness to let her know, because she saw it all. And why does she talk to me that way? Why does that charge nurse who was treating me bad talk to me that way? So I had somebody on my side that I was unaware even was around during the whatever the episode that nurse had with me. So make sure that, or try to ensure that the bystander is accountable to you as a witness. I know that's hard to do, but it's nice to have a recollection of who all was nearby in case something came of it. And then you could have other witnesses that may have heard that the person bullying you raise their voice or say what they said, or in whatever physical way if they've mistreated you. So anyway, those are just a few tips that you can use to confront the person that's bullying you, or how to handle being bullied as a nurse. So I will talk about more in my next audio. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. And until next time, I will see you soon. Bye-bye.